Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Core Racing Network, and welcome to 2025 here. New season for the now sponsored Elwood Designs Core Xfinity Series, as we get another 20 races on tap this season. Just as much fun as last season was, and we got a lot more drivers out here, a lot more talent. There's going to be a lot to play for. We got now 4 divisions in the series, so we're going to have the gold, silver, and bronze. Well, we have the addition of the Platinum division, and that's where we're going to see the top drivers in Core competing for that top title for sure. And we got some new talent in here that are currently classified as rookies, but after 5 races they'll be out of that rookie division and into their proper division, and some of them look to be maybe filing into those top divisions as well. So we'll see how it plays out, but looking forward to another one starting out here at Kansas Speedway here tonight. Certainly a fan favorite, a driver favorite, a Core favorite. It is that official home of Core here tonight, so a good place to start the season. Carl Hamrick joined the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, welcome to another season of the Elwood Designs Core Xfinity Series.
Yeah, can't give a bigger shout out to Elwood Designs for jumping on board here with the Core Xfinity Series. Yeah, and you're right, Carl. This is you said more talent. There's 36 drivers on the field at least, and there's a couple that are in the reserve bank there. So if we can have as big a field as 40 drivers, a couple of drivers still waiting on a wait list, maybe some not showing up tonight. Figured everybody would be here, but we might see that 40 mark a few times this season. But what a better place to start than the unofficial home of Core, Kansas.
Well, we are already done with qualifying for the first race of the season, so why don't you go ahead and keep it going, Jimmy, and give us a rundown of our first starting order for the season.
I'm going to have to pass that to you as I am logging in.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take care of that then. Well, on the pole, no surprise, the man behind the sponsorship and the man that took home everything last year, the champion from last season, Alan Elwood, on the pole with a 30.806. But you see the field very, very tight all the way through. Clayton Montgomery, new one to the series here, going to start in second. Nico Garcia, Tom Bourne, Shane Therian for your top 5. Bryce Reiner, Bronson Stafford, Kelly Pointer, Jack Stoneman, and Kenny Hines, also known as Aiden Hines. I'm not sure, it's still not changed there in SDK, but it is Aiden Hines out there in 10th place. Running at the next 10, we got Justin Kirby starting in 11th, Joey Cruz, Connor Gibson, Joe Sullivan, Tyler Skozen, Josh Van Westen, Blake Erickson, Daniel Wiles, John Crane, and Joe Thomas for your top 20. And then 21st is going to be John Nominger, Davey Hendricks, Dan Phelps, Matt Crockett, Kevin Foster for your top 25. Then Tyler Bramble, Luis Arduna, Caleb Collins, Paul Lawson, Alexander Hamrick for your top 30. And then rounding out the field is going to be Sierra Clampert, AJ Roderick, James Scioli, Danny Ware, Robert Kenny, and Jeremy Gainey. 36 cars set to take the green flag here tonight. And yeah, like Jimmy said, we got more than 40 signed up for the season, so we'll see where those numbers shoot up to at some point. But this is the season opener here, and it looks to be a good one, a nice stacked field. We got some heavy hitters at the back of the field to start this thing. We got some heavy hitters certainly at the front of the field, but a lot of new faces out there. We'll see where they kind of fall into place.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit of, I think, some growing pains. Obviously, a super large field. There is a pretty good wide range of talent from the front to the back. So the drivers are going to really be tested here tonight, and better. There's going to be pretty. I think tonight might not be too bad, as Kansas does have plenty of opportunities to get out there, pass high side, low side.
Green flag.
Does tend to be a little bit high dominant, but here we go on the green as Elwood takes the green flag.
A little bit of bobble towards the back of the field, but it looks like everybody gets away cleanly. And we'll head off into turn number 1. Great sight to see with all of these cars out here, especially when you get through the first lap cleanly. I gotta say that's when they look the best, when that field starts to spread out here a little bit. But we're heading through turn 3 and 4. Is this is a very fast track here at Kansas, and completing the first lap looks like got some issues there with my background, so I'll get that cleaned up here in a second. But it is Alan Elwood leading the way. Clayton Montgomery, Nico Garcia, Tom Bourne, Shane Therian for your top 5. Then you got Bryce Reiner, Bronson Stafford, Kelly Pointer, Jack Stoneman, and Justin Kirby for your top 10.
Yeah, and just these drivers obviously need to take their time and get settled. We're out here for 80 laps, and it's a nice size race. I think I think a little bigger than a sprint race, and that gives them the opportunity. Obviously, with the 40% fuel, they will have to come down and take some pit stops. So some pit strategy will come into play. I said it all last season. I say it every stream. Like 99% of the time, I hope they practice pit entry. If you turn to.
And we will have a caution already. And everything cleaned up and set up here, but it looks like it may involve some of the drivers towards the front. Looks like Justin Kirby involved in this one. Joe Thomas as well, so we'll take a look back and see what exactly started this thing. Wind it here a little bit, as it looks like it was already possibly taking place. The 55 of typical broadcaster here for CRN, but he's out there on the track this season, and that is Tyler Skozen. Gets into the back of the 43 of Kirby a little bit. Looks like he may have had a chance to straighten it out, but just a little tap right there with the 28 of Joey Cruz. Sends him up the track a little bit more, and man, he was doing his best to try and save that thing, but eventually it ends up just over-rotating a little bit too much, comes down the track, and that is going to bring out our first caution, trying to see where Joe Thomas got involved with this one. I have to pan to him and see where exactly he was caught up, because he's definitely wrecked up here, and I'm guessing it's just from drivers trying to get away from the incident. You see the smoke in front of him already, up in that high line, and 3-4 wide at the back of this field right here. Checking up, and it looks like Tyler Bramwell gets into the back of the 42 there. Danny Ware, a little bit of damage, and that sends him up there into Joe Thomas and around. So Danny Ware caught up in this one as well, but already quite a bit of pit stops here, Jimmy. So, I mean, I guess already playing the fuel strategy game, already trying to switch it up here. I mean, we got some drivers that were up there in the top 10, some in the top 5, already coming into pits and just taking a little splash and dash.
Yeah, I mean, fuel's fuel, half a lap, and definitely, any kind of type of fuel, if they can stretch it out just that little bit, it could mean that, they don't have to save later on, or they can get a shorter pit stop. So, we're under caution now. It's the best way to get a nice clean pit stop and really get some fuel strategy going here. I'm trying to listen to something.
For those new to the for those new to the series here, and taking a look at the standings on the left side there, the different colors denotes what division they're in. Again, we said there's 4 different divisions for the series this season. Those bluish colored numbers, that is the Platinum Division drivers. The drivers in the red, those are your rookie division drivers until they lose their rookie stripes, if you will. And you got the gold division drivers, the silver and the bronze. But at the front, it is Elwood that's going to restart this thing. Montgomery in second, and then they go with the rest of the top 10. You got Tom Bourne, Nico Garcia, Kelly Pointer, Bronson Stafford, Connor Gibson, Jack Stoneman, Joey Cruz, and Tyler Skozen for your top 10. As still plenty early, just got the early caution right there. Little close racing, certainly to start this thing, but I am noticing one thing. I mean, Kansas used to be a track where highline. That's pretty much all where you're going to be. You can, dive down there, especially when you have those newer tires. You can dive down to the bottom and kind of pull off a little bit of a slide job to make those passes. But it seemed like it was always highline dominated, but I'm not sure if it's, updated with the setups here, with the cars, or what it might be, but these drivers seem to tend to like the bottom a little bit more now at Kansas and really only utilize that high line a little bit later in the runs.
Yeah, iRacing continues to update their tire models to match kind of what's current, and that could have made the change to these cars. But we're back to green here as Elwood gets on that loud pedal and heads back to turn it around. Oh, there he goes.
Good clean restart for the 5 as he takes out to the lead. A couple of drivers that you may remember from last season. One of them battling here for second. Nico Garcia ran the 1 last year, switched over to the 88. So a couple of drivers switching over some numbers, which they are allowed to do in between seasons here. as Nico has Clayton Montgomery, one of their teammates. Didn't run last season, but Clayton doing a good job here on his debut up there in second. Another one up there, Tom Bourne, running in fourth place. Certainly a lot of talent with Tom. He's up there in the top 5, as is another newcomer, Ronson Stafford, in fifth place. So, I mean, you always want to see the league and the series grow, but, I mean, you know, when you have this many rookies, it tends to scare you a little bit, you know, when you come in a new season. But there's a lot of red at that top of the boards there, Jimmy.
Yeah, and, you know, there's just new drivers to core, you know, so they probably got some time behind the scenes, just found a series where there's actual drivers that are, you know, going to come out here every week and like the schedule, and maybe their chances of, you know, maybe being in a, you know, they don't have to win to win. You know, they're out here racing with everybody, but they are racing against their own class once they establish themselves and get 5 races in, and then they get their own core rating. So some of those drivers might end up in the platinum, and some of those drivers might be in the gold, some could be in the bronze, whatever it may be. It's just how well these drivers drive here and get along with each other, get maybe a lucky break. But right now, everything seems to be going good up front. There's single file for the most part for like the top 6, and then, you know, your next pack here, a little bit of battle in here, and that's what I call it the danger zone, the middle pack, where these drivers, they have the skill where they're like on that edge where they can get up there and battle with the leaders every now and then, but they battle each other so hard for, you know, these spots back here in like 10th on back. So there's definitely a lot of action going back and forth back here in that middle pack right now.
Well, one of the drivers we were told to watch for this season did not qualify. Started in the back of the field, started back there in 33rd, already up in the top 10. That is James Scioli, as he certainly, you look at the iRating, typically it's not something that I look at. I take it with a grain of salt, but once you get to, you know, kind of a certain number iRating, you have to pay attention to it. And, you know, we see in Alan Elwood and how well he drove last season. Just to give an idea, Alan Elwood has an iRating of 4,400. James Scioli, 2,000 higher than that, 6,400. So that should give you an idea of what kind of talent Scioli is, as the 25 Stoneman and the 028 Joey Cruz get together there. But Scioli already up to 8th place early on in this race, and making his way through this field pretty quickly. But a lot of battling all through the field. We've seen 2-3 wide right when he was going through here. Now we get another 2 wide battle. John Crane in the 11th subway, and then AJ Roderick on the outside trying to make his way up as well. Another one that did not qualify. He started back there in 32nd, but up 17 spots.
Yeah, I think, you know, maybe some drivers maybe they went out there and they did try to qualify, and maybe just got the car a little sideways and attack the wall, or just pushing it as hard as they can and try to get that flying lap, and just didn't find themselves there, or just maybe wanted to take it a little bit easy, let things kind of pan out up front and not be involved in any incidents. But the Crane just tagged the wall just a little bit there. I was focusing on him to see as we were talking about him, but right now everything seems to be going pretty good. There is a lot of drivers kind of spread out. You're seeing some drivers on that low side, a few up on the high side, Carl. You know, you talked about the drivers that don't favor it too much here early on the newer tires, but you still have a few drivers going up there looking to carry that speed to their corners.
I'm not sure exactly what happened, if it was a scheduled pit stop or not, but Daniel Wiles hit on lap number 11, and he is kind of out there on the track by himself. You see him on the track map there, nowhere near really anybody. He is currently 1 lap down, running in last place, 36th right now. So it's kind of a bittersweet for him when he found out he was going to be in the Platinum division, because he knows the type of talent that he had to race with last year when it was the Gold / Platinum division. And, you know, he had to battle the likes of Elwood and Garcia and Therian all the way to the bitter end, and it was some really good battling, but the playoffs did not pan out well for him at all. I mean, he had a really good regular season, got himself into the playoffs, and then the playoff round was it was rough for him. It was not a typical Daniel Wiles type of run in the playoffs. So looking to bounce back this season, but already maybe a rough start here, maybe just kind of going off schedule from everybody else and seeing how it plays out. But currently 36, 1 lap down, but plenty of racing left, only here on lap 16 of 80.
Yeah, definitely still early. Anything can happen. You know, we have one quick caution there. and everybody's been keeping it clean and green right now. So we are on lap 17. If I'm not mistaken, Carl, I think we should be right in that close to 30 lap mark for pit stops. So we'll see how this all pans out. You know, is somebody saving now, stretching fuel, you know, or are they just all out? I need to get to the front mode. There's so many different people out there, so many different strategies that are going to be made here tonight. You know, does somebody have a live spotter? Are they just all using a virtual spotter? Are they using fuel calculators? Are they going per lap? Are they using meters or gallons? I mean, you know, everybody's got their own preferences, you know, how they make their decisions. So there's just plenty of things out there for these drivers to do instead of just driving. And managing tires and fuel is a huge part of it. But like I said, it's that pit entry. You know, I've seen a lot of people come in and like during practice and try to come in. They can actually come in a little bit early. And when they do that, if the car's not slowed down, when they come off the banking and onto down the apron, the car gets upset. So the entry is actually a little bit farther or a little bit closer to the pit lane than some of these drivers think, and they really got to understand that and get that car slowed down. Hopefully they're calling out pit stops and other drivers are aware too, because with these cars running on the bottom or that low side, you know, it could be disaster. So maybe having a couple extra laps of fuel is going to benefit some of these drivers out here.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Jimmy, if any of these drivers are driving with liters instead of gallons on there, they may just get an automatic black flag for that. I mean, you know, you want to do that on the road, I totally get it. But you're doing that here on the ovals. I mean, maybe it leads to better calculations. I don't know. It's definitely not for me.
It's easy. It's a lot of things are like they're just even numbers. So if I did it for a little while on the roads, of course, I don't do ovals anymore. They make me mad. I tried to do this last weekend and I needed a 12-pack. But
it was good fun for us. Listen to you.
Definitely interesting. But yeah, when you come to fuel calculations, like liters is just super simple. You know? Obviously, everything's just even. It's not like, oh, I need 1.1 gallons. It's like I need 1 liter or 2 liters. You know, it's not. So you're not looking for them decimals. So it's a lot easier when you're trying to think of the stuff in your head if you're used to it. You know, so. And we do have drivers that aren't from America in here, you know, so maybe Bronson Stafford or Connor Gibson, maybe they use metrics on a daily, so it might be something that they do.
And we got to make sure Tyler gets his information in there correctly. Looks like they get the UNOH e-motorsports in there, but apparently he's not from anywhere. He's the only one showing up in SDK for us that is not from anywhere. Yes. Apparently he's holding back right now in 8th place. But either way, good run for him out here as we got a couple CRN broadcasters out there. We got Tyler Skosen out there in 8th place. Hop back here to 13th, and we got Joe Sullivan out here as Joe's going to be joining me once again for CSRL, which is going to be starting up their season tomorrow night. And they got another good GT series if you're looking for something on Wednesday nights. Free series, and they got a couple different divisions of Pro and the AM division, and they have a lot of good racing over there as well. And if you're not looking for racing to get into, if you want to watch it, well, it's broadcasted by us here at CRN, myself and Joe Sullivan. Actually, I think Joe is going to be stepping out, so never mind. Joe is going to be, I think, running the next season in the CSRL. So it is going to be back-to-back nights with myself and Jimmy. So get used to it, I guess, whether you like it or not.
I'm sitting here like shaking my head. I'm like, what's he smoking? I'm like, no, yeah, I'll definitely be over there with CSRL. Welcome to go on over there and put some input and cover some road racing there with them drivers and just have a good time. It's just welcome to get out there and be able to broadcast different series, different cars, and see the different type of drivers out there. And you learn. Up here in the booth, there's a lot of things from watching these drivers that you kind of pick up. As far as like maybe their pit strategies. Because me and you talk back and forth. Like, what are they doing that for? And we see something work that we would never think about. So a lot of good things come from being up here in the booth. Not only you know, put me on a good show for everybody, but a little bit of talent maybe. I don't know. I need to watch more though. I need to broadcast more because I'm missing something.
Well, certainly the talent is shown right now as we had that early caution on lap 3, but we've been lean and green since then. Lap 27 now is the one that we are starting, so getting a little bit closer to that first pit cycle here. As I mentioned, we're expecting the pit cycle to be anywhere from like maybe 27 to 32 laps here, so right around that 30 lap mark is when we're expecting the drivers to come in here under green. Did have some of those drivers, like we said, maybe you know, a third of the field come in under caution and just take a little splash and dash and see how that works out for them in the long run here. But as it stands right now, it is Alan Elwood still leading the way. Nico Garcia, Clayton Montgomery, James Sealy now up to 4th, Bronson Stafford in 5th. Then you got Tom Bourne, Kelly Pointer, Tyler Skozen, Jack Stoneman, and Joey Cruz for the top 10.
And we should be seeing those pit stops coming soon. I believe they're calling them out now over the radio, so they are talking. I got the driver's chat up in my other ear. It can sometimes be overwhelming. They're kind of quiet, really, for the most part, but they are calling out pit stops now. And your leader, Alan Elwood, is the first in, along with the 88 and a few others.
Bronson Stafford is going to stay out and take over the lead here, so first laps led for the 61, as he's going to stay out there for at least another lap. Tom Bourne, Jack Stoneman, Joe Sullivan, Kelly Pointer from the top 5 right now, all staying out. First person that pit under the green, or pit under the yellow that is still out there is right here, the 90 of Bryce Reiner. Another one that he showed flashes last season when he was in attendance, and certainly could have posed a threat if he was able to run the full season. But now he's got to deal with the rest of these boys here in the Platinum Division and see what he can do for the season. Hopefully he's got a full season under his belt. He now takes over the lead as he's going to stay out there once again. So it is actually one other CRN broadcaster in the field that has yet to come in the pit at all so far, and that is John Nominger, currently in 2nd place, but he has not pit at all. He didn't pit on the yellow, and he has stretched his fuel out here under the green as well. But just see him, yeah, he's coming in this time by, probably see the rest of the field come in the next couple laps, but Nominger, heck of a job. If he got that thing blowed up and didn't get a penalty, that was a heck of a job. I mean, we joke a lot about Nominger, and he kind of self-imposes penalties on pit road on himself a lot, but hopefully no penalty for the 44 that time by, as Bryce Reiner still out there in the lead. Shane Therian in 2nd place, Danny Ware, Justin Kirby, Robert Kenny, your top 5, but right now the top 11 all pit on lap number 4 under caution, so we're expecting them to come in these next couple laps.
Yeah, you should see them, and I would say, I see these drivers are coming down here, and but it's soon. Some drivers leaving the pits right now that'll come through, but those early ones, the ones that decide to not pit on that caution, everybody should be in. But yeah, you got a few people. Danny Ware just calling out a radio. He's on his way in. Something with Robert Kenny.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, worst case scenario, I mean, these drivers that came in under the yellow, you take a look at the leaderboards right now. The top 11, and now top 12, those are only drivers on the lead lap right now. So, I mean, you know, yeah, you come in early, you come under that caution, you can stretch it out a little bit further, but, you know, if there were a caution at this point, you know, kind of in the middle of this pit strategy here, or the pit cycle, it could have really thrown a wrench into a lot of drivers here. And all those drivers one lap down could have gotten the wave around once everybody came into the pits, but you know, they're kind of behind the 8 ball then, because they're going to start at the back of the pack. They're going to have older tires than everybody else that came in. So I like this strategy call, but now it is going to get interesting because we do have a caution. Trying to see where it started. Looks like Aiden Hines, Joe Sullivan possibly involved. As we'll take a look back here, but this is in the midst of pit stops here, so who's going to have the fuel to make this thing around here? And I'm thinking that it might have been some guys coming in the pits, and oh, it looks like Kevin Foster maybe starting this one. We'll rewind it one more time here and show it to you, as it looks like he was slowing down to come into the pits. Got a little bit sideways, tried to correct it, got the apron. It shot him up into the 28. The 3 of Hines getting involved. Sullivan looks like he gets a little bit from the 3, and then they get together. They both shoot down the infield as well.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I definitely called it, Carl, about getting down.
And it happens that quick right there. I mean, just a little bit of a touch is going to bring it out. But now the question is, drivers like right there, you see the 72 of Caleb Collins coming in the pits. Was he on pit road before that caution came out? If he was, then he's okay to make that pit stop. But if it came out like just as he was coming across the line, that's a black flag, and it's a really unfortunate situation. But we'll see if anybody suffers from a black flag or anybody suffers running out of fuel, because I mean it was right there at the edge for those drivers that pit under the last caution. Now we'll see all of them come in, and this is a nice little benefit for those ones that pit under that first caution, because now they got the fresher tires there towards the front of the pack. You see them all coming through right now, and I mean this is a nice little benefit. And it looks like the only one that is going to be ahead of Reiner is Alan Elwood, as he just got his lap back before that caution came out. So heck of a turn of events here, as Reiner now all the way up to second place after being towards the back of the pack, having pitting early.
Yeah, it's looking like Joey Cruz caught a black flag from all that, so not quite sure. It doesn't look like anybody else did, but unfortunate for the 028 one that had to come down and service penalty.
These drivers do have one faster pair that they can use for the night, so yeah, I've seen a couple of drivers use it on that one. There's some wrinkle fenders for sure. Nothing maybe too major, but Kansas is only a mile and a half, but it is a fast track. I mean, you're not really using the brake too much. If anything, maybe you're dragging it a little bit going to the corners, or some of the drivers maybe just like it to lift off the throttle. It's kind of a driver preference here, but it's not like it's a short track. It's not a 1 mile track, a flat track, Jimmy, as you would like to say. The flat track 1 miles are a short track, but it's one that it's a lot of throttle here, and so you need to keep those fenders pointed the right direction to get all kinds of speed out of it.
Yeah, if it's definitely a figure. These drivers need to kind of calm down here tonight. They're trying to these drivers are all confused out there. There's a lot of drivers going on, so I don't know what's quite going on, but there definitely some growing pains here as everybody's learning how to race. So we're going to go back to green here. Alan Elwood out front with Bryce Reiner.
And restart for the field heading towards turn number 1. Elwood going to lead him into it.
Elwood reaching up that high side here early as they go through wide behind him.
It looks like the ones that kind of suffer the most under that one, Nobinger, Orduna, Clamper, Wiles, Cruz all 1 lap down. Stoneman, Erickson on down. There are 2 laps or more down as we take a look at the bottom of the order here. Looks like Joey Cruz needs to come in to serve his penalty as well. And it's a tough situation when it happens, right there as you're coming into pit lane. But if the caution comes out and then you decide to come down pit lane anyway, it is going to be a black flag, so it's tough right there. But top 10 is going to be Elwood, Montgomery, Scioli, Garcia, Reiner, Stafford, Bourne, Skozen, Kirby, and Therian. So you can see a lot of those platinum drivers starting to move their way towards the front. The only ones that are towards the back right now, you got Wiles back here in 25th, 1 lap down, still trying to get back on the lead lap. And then Danny Ware started back there in 34th here tonight, but up to 17th. So he's made his way halfway through the field. He's in 17th, up 17th. So a perfect little ratio there, but up 31 spots. And now looking for the lead is the 70 of James Scioli, and it's going to be the first time this season we'll see that 70 in the lead. And By the sounds of it, it's not going to be the last.
No, he's taking his time, working his way through the field. Obviously, caution, maybe playing a little bit in his favor, being able to close the gap a little bit easier. Get a good pit stop in there, and right now, there's a lot of battle in front. Clay Montgomery's up there now. Nico Garcia got in front of Alan Elwood. Alan Elwood falls to P4. Bryce Rainer's back there in 5 now. Branson Stafford, that was up there on the P2, is back there in 6. Tom Borns in 7. Tyler Scozen up there in 8. Justin Kirby finds himself in P9 after having a little bit of a rough start there, but he's recovered here quite nicely on lap as well, lap 41. And Shane Darian back there at P number 10. So a lot of good driving up front. There's a lot of good battling going on too wide, but we can't forget the rest of the field as well. So let's see what's going on. I'm trying to see what else is going on. Back here with Connor Gibson. We got some 2 wide action. Got Dan Phelps behind him. So a lot of good racing all over this track call.
Yeah, we have crossed over the halfway mark as well, so we're in the second half of this race already. As it goes by pretty quickly here. I mean, it's not terribly long races here in the Elwood Designs Core Xfinity Series, but it's enough time to kind of hash out and see who's the better driver for the night or who's got the better strategy. So nice little 80-lap race here tonight at Kansas to start the season, but it's a good-looking schedule altogether. Again, it follows. It basically follows the NASCAR schedule, which is also the iRacing schedule. But just a quick look ahead for the next couple of races. You got Texas coming up next week. Kern, a tough little short track right there. And you're going to see some heat racing for the first time in the Xfinity Series here. Then Homestead and Iowa will round out the first 5 races of the season and take us into February. But big move, big bobble there by... that was the 75 there of Kelly Pointer, as he's going to fall back there. It was either Kelly Pointer or the 85 of Dan Phelps. Remember the 85? Dan Phelps. Yeah, as Dan's just trying to collect that car back up, but comes up into the 42 of Danny Ware, and that is going to bring out another caution. You've seen it live. Take a look at that one more time. I think Wiles, I don't think he realized there was another car coming up there. He came straight up the track right into the 42. Try and take a look back a little bit further. Let's see when Phelps got loose here. See coming off the corner, just a big bobble right there. That may have gotten the tires a little bit angry on the 85, and the season car just getting around him, and he might have just kind of lost where he was, or might have thought there was a gap that he could slide up into. But the 42 had a good closing rate on the outside, and unfortunately gets tangled there with the 85. So it's going to bring us under another caution here, second half of the race. But I don't think we're in the fuel window just yet, and don't see too many drivers coming in. It looks like the back half of the field deciding to come in here, and we'll see if anybody decides to take tires on this one, or if we're just going to take fuel. But it's definitely it's not in the window just yet, but it's getting close. I mean, we're right now at lap 46. So again, we're figuring around 30 laps. So maybe you catch a flyer here. Maybe you come in with 1 lap to go here with this caution and pack that thing full of fuel and kind of tippy-toe your way to the end. If it goes green all the way, maybe you can go the flyer off with pit strategy.
Yeah, you don't know who's using up what tires yet either, Carl. And obviously they've only pit once, and maybe something they know that they're going to have to pit one more time. Maybe somebody comes in and grabs tires, and maybe can march to the field pretty quickly. So it is a pretty big difference between obviously newer tires and older tires. I don't know if they've been out enough laps to make a huge difference, but I'm sure it could make some change. I mean, if I'm in the back and I need a few positions, I might take that opportunity. If I have 2 sets of flags, 2 sets of tires still remaining, out there, I'm going to take a set and see if I can gain a couple positions, take advantage of the new tires, the old tires, and maybe even the possibility, like when the drivers do come in for that pit stop, I can stay out a little bit longer, maybe catch a caution and put some people out down, and obviously better your chances there. So, but right now we're looking pretty good here. Live, James out front over Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood, Clayton Montgomery, Bryce Reiner for your top 5, Tom Bourne, Shane Therian, Tyler Scozen, Bronson Stafford, and Justin Kirby for your top 10. Then Josh Van Westen, Matt Crockett, Joe Thomas, Davey Hendricks, Joe Sullivan, Aiden Hines, Tyler Bramble, Caleb Collins, Kelly Pointer, and Robert Kenny for your top 20.
Yeah, still have everybody in the race. Nobody has retired yet, so I mean that's also a good sign. I mean, we've had I believe this is our third caution now, but none of them too crazy. I mean, the last caution probably involved the most cars, maybe 4 or 5 cars involved in that one, but nothing banged up too much, and everybody's still back out there. But you see, only the top 24 are still left on the lead lap. James Scioli going to lead them down to the green flag at this time, as Nico Garcia is going to try his best to try and fend him off on the restart here, but Alan Elwood's right there behind him as well. Restart here on lap number 47, and Scioli back on the lap pedal, racing again here at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, huge jump there by James, again out front there, and obviously in no danger, as draft is not a huge part of running people over like on a super speedway, but a great start up there. You see back there P04 drivers going 3 wide.
We're gonna look back through the field and showing you how these drivers look, and maybe showing you a little strategy here on board with Kevin Foster. Jimmy, are you shocked that Kevin Foster is in fuel save mode?
No, it's Kansas. He loves Kansas. That's great racing there. Oh, up against the wall. Towards the back of the field, just hanging up on that wall right now.
Yeah, trying to see who that is as Kevin Foster comes on by.
It's like,
looks like that is Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Some issues getting that thing back in gear, but try and take a look and see what exactly happened here.
Looks like they're got up in the wall just a little bit.
Like it was in turn number 1. We'll find out where exactly happened, but definitely got up into the end of the wall and rode that wall for quite some time.
I think he got up there and just kind of
right there,
drivers
already in the wall. It looked like the 3 actually got into the 72 and helped the 218 kind of latch onto that wall.
Yeah, sometimes iRacing, when you get on that wall, it just won't let you off. I mean, you really gotta like let off the throttle and just kind of work it so you can just kind of get off that wall. And obviously, you don't want to do that too abruptly when you got drivers right on your door. So he did a good thing, and the best thing he could is kind of ride that wall for a little bit until he could finally get off there and then keep things going green here. That's why I'm not 51.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in up to this point. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that C-Rain has to offer. As again, we got the Elwood Designs Core Xfinity series here tonight on Tuesdays. May have another series. We'll see if UCRL comes back here at the end of the month. I know they're in the recruiting phases right now, and should be starting up their season at the end of January. On Wednesday nights, we're going to have the CSRL GT series once again starting up tomorrow night. On Thursday, and possibly on Wednesday, we'll see how everything plays out. We could have coverage of the Core LMP2 series as well. That's going to be starting up. We'll see how things work out. We'll kind of play that by ear. It's certainly not locked in just yet. But then on Thursday night, currently we're going to have the Core GT series presented by Chase Decals starting up on Thursday night, and then later this month we'll see the return of the Virtual Velocity Racing. I believe they are running the Xfinity cars next season. I'm trying to remember which are it's either Xfinity or ARCA. I think they ran ARCA last season, but
it's ARCA.
It's ARCA this season. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they had that special event in those ARCA cars, so
that's right.
That's what they ran for. So yeah, they'll be in the ARCA car. But yeah, looking forward to getting back with them drivers over there at PBR as well. They'll be starting up soon. Yeah, still waiting on UCRL on Tuesday. They didn't move up their start time just a little bit, but if you're out there, you're interested, you don't like the Xfinity series, and you like racing 87s, perfect league over there to jump in there and then get running around there. A little smaller field right now. I think they're up to like 12 or 13 drivers, so definitely would like to see another 5 or 10, even 10 more drivers out there. Test your skills on some of the some pretty good little drivers over there. They're not they're all super nice and will help you to a certain point until up to race day, and then after that you're kind of on your own. But definitely great group of people to race with, and they always put on a good show. A lot of green flag racing over there as well. But right now we're green flag again here. James and Alan battle on out side by side, and if this is a preview of what the season is going to be, I think we're going to see these two names doing a lot of battling.
Yeah, I would say so. I got my eyes back here on was a 3-wide battle as we got a car coming off. That is the 61 of Bronson Stafford making a pit stop here, but it was a 3-wide battle between Tyler Scholes and Connor Gibson and Justin Kirby that finally got hashed out here. Battle for the back half of the top 10. Some good racing back here. Really all through the field, the Scholes gets into the wall, and kind of a little bit what we talked about with Joe Thomas. You get stuck on that wall and you're stuck. It's tough to get off of that thing, but looks like he's just going to lose a position or two before he gets back going here. But definitely getting close to another round of pit stops. Out front, it is still James Scioli, Alan Elwood, Shane Therian, Bryce Reiner, Nico Garcia for your top 5. And then Bourne, Montgomery, Gibson, Kirby, and Van Westen rounding out your top 10. But again, we got one more pit stop looming. Will it happen under a green? There's been some really, really good racing here, some tight racing for sure. And already seeing some bumpers being used here and there. So certainly the drivers feeling each other out early on in the season. But here comes the 70 and the 5. It looks like the night is at the 06 Tom Bourne now. That is the 90 of Bryce Reiner that got wicked sideways. Not sure if that was kind of a late call to come into the pits, and he missed it. And he tried to get down there, but either way, he did not come down into the pits. Now Nico Garcia up there in the wall a little bit. It's getting a little tense here in the second half of this race as we're coming down to 20 to go very soon.
And back up front right now, Shane Therian leading the way, but then right behind him, you got a cluster. Bryce Reiner, Connor Gibson, Tom Bourne, Justin Kirby. Everybody trying to get in, trying to not get down super early. Like I said, it upsets that car, Carl. But you need to call it out. And who was that? Scozy? Who was that? Yeah, that was Scozy. No, that was Scozy. Oh, Scozy's leading there. Who was that back there? Tom? Somebody in the pits. Was that Cruz? I didn't see who it was, but they definitely, there he is. AJ Roderick, yeah, 86. Had a definitely interesting and got the black flag for unsafe pit entry. So he's going to have to take his pit stop and then come back out and come back in.
Unless it gives him might give him a 40-second hold right away. But
maybe.
As it stands, Shane Therian's still out there, and we got some drivers again that pit on lap number 45 under the last caution here. So we'll see them stretch this thing out a little bit further. We'll see if they can stretch it out all the way to the end. You're going to be asking for 35 laps under green flag conditions, or at least 34 roughly under green to make it all the way to the end. So we'll see. We're going to be in ultra fuel save mode, but right now it's Shane Therian last pit on lap number 34, so he is going to have to come in here in the next couple of laps. First car that pit on lap number 45 is Connor Gibson. As we'll take a look at the pit laps right now. On your screen, you'll see when the drivers last pit, obviously from Alan Elwood on back. All those drivers just recently coming into the pits, and it looks like a better pit stop from Elwood and Bourne, getting ahead of Scioli on the pit cycle right there. So we'll see if this thing fully plays out. It's a full pit cycle is getting close. And here comes Gibson to the inside of Therian. This is for the lead right now, so bonus point on the line for a lap led. And right now, we got two Canadians in the field. Jimmy and Bronson Stafford's already led a lap. Connor Gibson looking to take another one here for Canada and leading this lap.
And then he's going to get a lap put in there, and he's going to do so there in another 31 best pro shop machine here tonight. And it's good to see people at least getting that opportunity up there. And what it kind of shows, Carl, is that all these drivers are on different strategies. So there's always that possibility if you're right spot, right time. It could have put Connor Gibson in that spot to possibly win. And, there's a lot of these drivers. I think the average is up in the over. Obviously it's high, but Connor Gibson being on 2,400 iRating, that's pretty much the average for a lot of people. But doing a fantastic job of getting some laps led here tonight so far. And then with everyone, Kelly Pointer right now, MP number 2, followed by Caleb Collins, Robert Kenny, and Tyler Bramble for your top 5 right now. So definitely a lot of strategies going on here and trying to catch that break. Maybe that caution come out. There's a lot of chatter and some of that in the driver's chat. I hear people going back and forth just a little bit. So definitely interesting conversations over there at the moment. But right now it is all Connor Gibson, Kelly Pointer, and then Caleb Collins just waiting for them to make their pit stop before kind of go back to Alan Elwood back there in Pino Road.
Well, this is kind of a gap that you need to take a look at right now, I think, and that is the gap between Kevin Foster and Alan Elwood. Kevin Foster, the last one, he pit on lap number 46, came back in under caution on that last lap of caution, topped off on fuel, and you heard it when we jumped on board with them before, and we'll go ahead and jump on board with them again, and you can hear just kind of kicking it off just a little bit, just trying to roll as much as possible and really trying to save fuel and just trying to keep that thing underneath him the way it looks. But he's got a 17.8-second gap right now between him and Alan Elwood. Elwood, obviously the first one out there that came into the pits and made his last pit stop. Elwood's got about a half a second lead right now on James Cioli, but this is, I think, that the last chance maybe for a driver to stretch this thing out. Again, Kevin, the only one to pit on lap number 46. All the drivers in front of him pit on lap number 45. Caleb Collins now coming into the pits as he knows he's not going to make it. So can any of these drivers pull the fuel card here at Kansas and get it done? If there's anybody that can do something special here in Kansas, it's that number 8 for sure. And I know he's got some fans out there certainly looking to get another victory lane celebration here at Kansas, his favorite track. I know Dave out there, you're waiting there, you're wondering where Craig Jansen is. Craig Jansen, he is going to be running a bit of a partial schedule this season from what I've heard. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get to see him back out here maybe next week, but not in attendance here tonight, unfortunately. And then we'll hop over and take a look and see where Tyler Skosen is currently running in 12th position, pit on lap number 58. So he is good to go to the end, and right now it looks like he's going to cycle out to be in that top 5 in that 55 Exalted machine. So good run out here for I guess we need another class. We need a CRN class, and right now Tyler Skosen is leading it.
It's all doing a fantastic job. I'm just going to go through the cars right now. Connor Gibson up front, Kelly Pointer, Tyler Bramble, Danny Ware, and Kevin Foster for your top 5, and Alan Elwood, James Soley back there in P7, Clayton Montgomery's in 8, Tom Bourne, and Machine Therian for your top 10. Eagle Garcia, Tyler Skosen, Bryce Rayner, John Nordwinger, John Van Weston, and Aiden Hines. And then Sierra is back there in P17, Robert Kenny, Dave Hendricks, and Joe Thomas for your top 20.
Running out the rest of the field, you got Daniel Wiles in 21st, Joe Thomas, Bronson Stafford, Blake Erickson, Joe Sullivan, Luis Arduna, John Crane, Caleb Collins, Justin Kirby, and Alexander Hamrick for your top 30. And then the rest of the field is Jack Stoneman, Dan Phelps, Jeremy Gainey, Joey Cruz, Paul Lawson, and looks like AJ Roderick may have called it quits for tonight in 36th position. But out front, the question still remains. Now with 9 laps to go, can any of these top 5 drivers make it into the end on fuel? Again, the top 4 last pit on lap number 45. 5th place, Kevin Foster, pit on lap number 46. Currently, the gap between Foster and Elwood, 11.2 seconds. So it's still a decent-sized gap, but it's going to get very tight here, very quick. 8 laps to go.
Yeah, Connor just calling over the radio. He's coming in this time by. So definitely run out of fuel. So 31's going to be coming down. So that's just now up to Kelly Pointer, Tyler Bramble, and Kevin Foster. Whether they can stay out of now. I don't know. Kelly is going to push through.
Gibson just getting into pit lane. Kelly Pointer now is going to join them, but I don't think he's going to make that commit cone. He's not, so that's going to be a penalty for the 75. Unsafe entry for Kelly Pointer. Tyler Bramble going to continue on. He is now your new leader. We'll see how far he can stretch it. Kevin Foster going to slide up into second. And we've got 7 laps to go here at Kansas. The gap now down under 10 seconds. Alan Elwood, he's got James Scioli right with him. How much will these drivers battle, or will they just hook up together and push hard to try and catch these other drivers and run them out of fuel? A little close right there with the 028.
Alan didn't make the cut. Sierra coming down the pits as well.
Now battle for what could be the overall win here. Scioli to the bottom, Elwood at the top, side by side at the line. This is second and third right now, but all depends on how much fuel Kevin Foster did save, can save all the way to the end. 6 laps to go. It's a long way. Yes, Elwood trying to do as much as he can. It's too much, though, as Scioli going to move into second place currently, but this could very well cycle out to be first place, all depending on what this 8 can do. And Jimmy, it's kind of fitting that one way or another, this 8 is leading late here at Kansas.
Yeah, and he's gonna. He loves this track. He's been around here so many times. Got so many laps, and I would say fan favorite for a lot of people out there at CRN. So, Kevin's been around a long time, and he deserves every single win that he's gotten. But it looks like that number 8 is finally calling it out and going to come on in. Unfortunately
for the 8, he is going to make that left-hand turn into pit lane. Going to need a splash and dash to get that thing to the end. So that will hand over the reins of the lead to James Scioli in the 70. Alan Elwood in second. Shane Therian, Clayton Montgomery, Nico Garcia, Bryce Reiner, Tom Bourne, Tyler Scozen, Josh Van Westen, and looks like Aiden Hines will end up getting ahead and moving it. Yes, Aiden Hines now up in the top 10, passing Kevin Foster. So Foster dropping back out of the top 10, did everything that he could, but you get to that point, and he may have had a lap or 2 left, but if you know you're not going to make it, it's better off just kind of ripping off that Band-Aid early and trying to salvage as much as you can to get to the end. But looks like it is the 70's race to lose at this point, as Kelly Pointer looking to get a lap back here. James Scioli in the lead by 0.3 of a second over Alan Elwood. Maybe a battle brewing here for 4th and 5th. There's a good run off the corner there. Weiner now moves over into 4th, passing Clayton Montgomery.
Yeah, great run up front. Down has closed the gap just a little bit, but coming down with a few laps to go. Whoa! Wow! John Crane that was Kevin Foster in the middle of James and Alan Elwood for that battle for the lead. There's now Kevin Foster tags the wall just ever so slightly. Shane Therian sitting there in P number 3.
As it stands, James Scioli is your leader now by 0.5 second. Coming to the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at Kansas. It's been a good one. Had a few early cautions, some drivers just kind of feeling each other out, some pit lane issues, and one of them was by Kevin Foster, one we were just kind of watching, and kind of fitting that is it was a pit strategy going wrong for Foster that sent him up there and caused one of the incidents here. But ever since then, it has been a lot of green flag racing here tonight. And I love to see it with this big 36-car field out here tonight. But top of the boards in his inaugural season here in the Elwood Designs Core Xfinity Series, James Scioli, your winner here at Kansas. Alan Elwood going to grab a 2nd place. Shane Therian going to come home in 3rd. Bryce Reiner, Clayton Montgomery rounding out your top 5.
definitely a great finish. And overall, pretty good race. Obviously, like I said, there's some tempers were flaring here, as it always happens. Everybody's so they're racing so hard and close together, and trying to get things done. And a lot of times, it's it gets the better of you sometimes. You miss one mark or one miss pin entry can ruin your race or get sideways. But overall, I think a pretty fantastic job by all these drivers getting out there. Obviously, congratulations to James, Alan, and Shane for taking that podium spot. We'll get a chance to talk to some of the other drivers as well. I'm gonna have to get that overload from you, Carl, so I can tell the divisions apart a little bit easier instead of just looking over at a random list. But yeah, it's going to be interesting talking to everybody and see how they felt about tonight and how they feel about the rest of the season.
Absolutely, watching the 70 of Scioli burning it down here on the front stretch. Well deserved here for Scioli, as again he started in the back of the pack, started in 33rd, finished up 32 positions, and grabs the win in that the beautiful Elwood Designs Simrad Markets paint scheme. As sounds like John Nobier maybe having a little bit of fun out there, or maybe just stuck in the grass to finish this thing out. But we'll take a look at the final results here for tonight. And again, it is going to be James Scioli taking home the win, Alan Elwood, Shane Therian, Bryce Reiner, Clayton Montgomery, Nico Garcia, Tom Bourne, Tyler Skozen, Josh Van Westen, Connor Gibson for your top 10. Aiden Hines, Robert Kenny, Danny Ware, Daniel Wiles, a good bounce back there for Wiles, as we've seen him early on in the race, dead last, one lap down, so good fight back there for Wiles to get a 14th. Davey Hendricks, Kevin Foster, Joe Thomas, Matt Crockett, Bronson Stafford, and Joe Sullivan for your top 20. And then you take a look at the rest of the field finishing order here. We're going to get these drivers in here for some well-deserved interviews here, just waiting for everybody to kind of file in here. But man, Jimmy, 36 cars out here, and honestly, I mean, I know Kansas isn't the most difficult place to run at, but it's a lot of high speed and a lot of kind of lane shift. You can go kind of all over the place here, so there's the chance of disaster happening out there. But 36 cars and a lot of them running together for the first time, I think it went pretty well out here.
Yeah, like I said, it's some mistakes can be made. Obviously, nobody's a true professional out here. This is obviously a lot of hobbyists, and a lot of them, obviously everybody tries their best that they can, and they're not out there to try to wreck people on purpose, and accidents do happen, and obviously tempers fly at the heat of the moment. I know how that is. I'm a big offender, and but definitely I think overall, I think the drivers did a fantastic job of getting out there. We did have some really great green flag running. We had green flag stops, so we had a little bit of everything, so we had some cautions, so everybody's got something to look at, and everybody's got something to learn from each and every incident that happened. You can go back, watch your replay, see where you could have maybe done something better, or maybe even watch the fast guys and how maybe you could have been more successful. So there's a lot of good racing out there, a lot of good drivers. I'm great just ecstatic about having so many drivers out here. I was like so busy trying to bounce around, trying to cover everybody. Well, Carl's doing all the camera action, but I'm in the back trying to see where everybody's at and what they're doing back there, and just so many people to choose from. So many new names too. It's awesome.
Well, we'll go ahead and start bringing in our finishers here tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with our third place finisher, and get this situated. I thought it was all set up, but apparently it was not. But here we go. So we'll go ahead and bring in our third place finisher here tonight, and that is going to be the 09 of Shane Therian. And Shane, a good night, a good start to the season here. A third place. You started up there in the top 5. Obviously, a lot of heavy hitters in the series this season. There was a lot of tough competition last season. Now you got maybe, unfortunately, some more of your teammates in here to battle with, but it's got to feel good coming home with a podium in the start here.
Yeah, definitely. Because I played strategy really early on. I was like, I don't know if I should do this early in the season because there's a lot of new people. But they kept it clean, so my strategy paid off. I kind of wish I would have pit a couple laps sooner with my 2-tire strategy at the end there. Would have had the lead probably hold on to, but I mean, I'll take third and being behind just Alan and James. It's that's gonna happen a lot probably, so I'll just take it.
Well, I mean, you never know. Maybe there's that one race this season where you beat one or both of them and you finally claim that powerhouse performance. But certainly finishing up this high, it's not going to help you. It's certainly not going to drop your rating to make a charge at that. But I mean, you come off last season where you had a chance at the championship. I know, obviously, regardless, you're going to have to battle Alan once again, and now James coming in here. Everything we've heard about James is good, and maybe a little bit tough for everybody out there to deal with. But I mean, what do you think your chances are here in the newly the platinum division?
I don't know. I think that the way you guys have the fuel and tires is really opens the possibilities of being able to beat these fast guys. Because honestly, I don't think I would have been that close to winning tonight if it weren't for this fuel and tire strategy. So I think that opens realm of possibilities. So it gives me a little bit of hope. But if it becomes caution filled, like some races do, then it's all just based off pure speed at that point. So we'll have to see. I mean, I have hope. I have hope that I'm going to at least make it to the championship, being best in points. Hopefully, I don't get eliminated from the championship race with no win. So I'm just hoping for that.
Yeah. You don't want to have the most points and not be there again. That certainly sucked last year for you. But either way, good start to the 2025 season for you. Third place here tonight. So we'll let you celebrate. But before you do, who you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
The Navy. Because I see the Jolly Rogers on that machine.
Yeah. I mean, I served 10 years and I saw the new uniforms for that football game. I was like, oh, Alan, I need a scheme with this uniform. So
well, you get my vote every week with the Jolly Rogers. I did 24 years, so I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, no, just thank Alan for that scheme. And I mean, I'm actually just thoroughly impressed that everybody raced tonight. A lot of new guys and only a couple cautions. I'm super impressed with that, especially because I brought in a lot of new guys, talked really high this league, and they're currently in my group chat saying they had a lot of fun, so that's promising.
Absolutely, yeah. It was good. Now, I said the same thing to Jimmy after this thing. It's 36 drivers is scary enough out there for the first race of the season. A lot of new faces out there. A lot of guys racing around each other for the first time. But, I mean, really a couple little hiccups, and I will certainly take that for the first one. So congrats on the third place here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That is third place finisher here tonight, the 09 of Shane Therian. Second place is going to be your returning champion from last season, and the man behind Elwood Designs. That is Alan Elwood. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our second place finisher?
Well, Alan, welcome back to the booth here for 2025 and being the sponsor of the series. I'm sure you didn't want to come in second place here tonight, but you had a good battle there, and I seen you scrape the wall a few times, kind of maybe holding you back. So but overall, I think a fantastic run here for the beginning of the season. So I want to say congratulations and give you some time to kind of explain how your race was here tonight.
Yeah, obviously not the spot you want to be in. You want to be P1, but James was, on our team, and we brought him in the season, and obviously you see he completed the first challenge, so he's going to be tough to beat this season. He's a really good driver. But I tried driving it a little bit too hard there a couple times, and that one bit me down in turn 1 and 2 when I clipped the right rear on the wall. And the wall sucked me in, and I just couldn't get off. And at that point, he was just too far away. And I couldn't run the bottom like he could. He had that bottom mastered, and that's the way they save tire around this place, because, running up top, you're using throttle, but you're also using up the right rear. And the car just got a little bit too free there at the end. So I probably should have tried to run the bottom there at the start of that last run, but I was trying to almost basically build enough of a gap that I knew he was going to be able to run the bottom and save tire, that maybe I could hold him off running that high side, but the right rear was just so hot, I couldn't keep it under me. I was trying some different things, and it just didn't work. But all in all, solid night. What can you complain about? Got the pole, got a top 2, so yeah, really solid night.
Yeah, clean race, pole, get you some extra points there. Didn't quite get that win, but he definitely did almost maxed out on points. So, but congratulations on that second place finish. I'm sure we'll be talking to you many more times up here in the booth. But before we let you go celebrate with your friends and family, I'll give you some time for any shout outs on that number on your car, number 5.
Yeah. First off, obviously, Simrat Market, it's on all our cars. I'm the designer over there. Preached it before. If you need a wrap or some way to get started with the paint scheme here in iRacing, go to simratmarket.com and check out our catalog. Got some really solid stuff over there, so check that out. Everybody on the team tonight, we got some new guys: Clayton, Davey, James, Danny's here full time. Nico, AJ, myself. I don't think I missed anybody. We got quite the crew, so we're looking to have a good season. I think everybody's going to be competitive, and we'll put on a good show for the fans out there. And of course, shout out to them for watching. You guys putting on the broadcast, of course. Everybody here at the league. Super excited to be a part of it and to put my name on the league as far as the series goes and whatnot. And it's definitely growing. We got, everybody watching out there saw the competition tonight compared to even last season. It's going to be a stout field and a stout push to the championship. Is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely a challenge, not only up for the Platinum Series, but for the rest of the field. But again, congratulations on your finish, and we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate.
Thanks, guys.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Top spot tonight in his opening race is going to be the 70 of James Scioli. James, we heard a lot about you coming in here, and let's just say you didn't disappoint. You certainly you got out there and you went pretty much from last to first out here in the first race of the season. Looking good out there in the 70. Congrats on your first win. How was it out there?
Thanks, guys. It was pretty fun. The setup's super loose. I knew it'd be real difficult, people trying to figure out whether to run the top, which makes more speed, but kind of burns the tires off, or run the bottom and try and save some tire and do that. So I just kind of committed to the bottom early, and a lot of people were running up the track. So I think that just helped me in that first run, get a lot of track position. And then after that, just really fun racing those guys up front. Definitely a tight battle up at the front, and good battle for the win there with Alan. Like always, he's going to be the one to beat. So always fun to go toe to toe with him and have a good race. I don't know if I would have got him if he didn't tag the wall there. It was just so hard to make passes on the bottom with fewer even speed with somebody. So it was definitely going to be an uphill battle, but just slightly overstepped there, and I was able to sneak on through.
Well, that's kind of one thing I brought up pre-race. It seemed like for the longest time, Kansas was just top. That's all you wanted to run, and you wanted to get that top line. And if you wanted to make a pass, you needed some newer tires. You needed to send it down low and kind of do a slide job. But it seems like lately, I don't know if it's just the overall setups, if it's just this Xfinity car, what exactly it is, but it seems like it's kind of trending back down towards that low line.
Yeah, they did some dynamic track updates within the last year and a half or so, and it's really kind of made you able to move around here. You definitely used to just have to be glued to the top. The bottom was slower, and it wore tires off more, so there's just no point in running down there. But now you can save the tires down there pretty good. It's not as fast, especially in 1 and 2, but I felt faster, especially in 3 and 4, just running the bottom, and nobody else was doing it, so I just kind of wanted to stick down there, just get the cleanest air possible and the cleanest track possible, and just try and run my own pace down there and keep the right rear on it. Definitely a very loose setup this week.
Well, certainly a welcome here to the series, and a welcome to Victory Lane right off the bat. So congrats on the win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
First off, shout out to you guys for broadcasting these races and letting us do this, once a week. We really appreciate it. So big shout out to you guys and the admin team for, taking some time out of your day to help us do this. Big ups to them. Huge shout out to Nico Garcia for the paint scheme, Elwood Designs Esports. Thanks for bringing me on this season. And then Roderick Racing Development, Moonlight Designs, and Simrat Market for being on the car. And hopefully we're talking to you guys again next week at Texas.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats again on the win. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Thanks, guys.
That is your winner here tonight at the 70 of James Scioli. Now we'll switch over to our top performers in the division. Unfortunately, we don't have Joe Thomas here, top finishing bronze driver, as he finished in 17th place tonight. But we do have a couple other drivers, and that is going to start with your top finisher in the silver class here tonight. The silver division is the 121 of Josh Van Westen. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take Josh?
Hey, Josh, Jimmy and Carl, I'm in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. How's it going?
Hey, well, not too bad. Welcome to the booth. It seemed really busy out there tonight, but as we're watching the leaders battle back and forth, obviously we got to recognize the other drivers throughout the field. And, I see you finished up there in the top 10. So you're doing a fantastic job. So that's what's landed you up here tonight. But why don't you give us a little rundown on how it was back there in the middle of the field?
I mean, about as you'd expect. Everybody's running different strategies. So from the start of the green to that first caution, I was just saving as much as I could because I was trying to play the long game. Carl knows this. He's been watching me. He watched me race all last season. I think one of you two gave me the jinx at Auto Club last year.
Probably.
I dumped it going into the pit road. But anyways, I run different strategies than everybody else. I try to, on these 1.5 miles, I like to run the car. I'd like to save some fuel as much as possible. And I was lucky I did. Otherwise, I'd be in like Jack Stoneman's situation where I'm sitting a lap down. Now I got to try to race other lap cars for the lucky dog. And I mean, so I was thankful that first caution came out and I was able to just push the rest of the race and not have to worry about anything. Because if I fall back, I was falling back to like basically where I started. So other than that, I mean, everybody raced good. I didn't have any issues with anybody. Typical court racing. It's fun. It's competitive.
Definitely, does benefit. Obviously we separate everybody out kind of in their own little division, kind of make their own rivalry. But yeah, you made a good 7 positions up tonight and finished in that top 10 spot. Just a great overall performance from that 121. So wanted to give you a little bit of time to come up here and tell us your side of the story. And right now, I'm going to give you a little bit of time for any shouts you might have on that car.
Big shout outs. Biggest one is to you guys for putting this on every Tuesday night. You guys put a lot of work into this, and it's very much appreciated. I know everybody in the league appreciates it. Shout out to my kids, my fiance. I wouldn't be able to do this without her support. She does a lot for my kids to where I can be able to race. And just shout out to all the other guys that keep showing up every week to make this happen.
Yeah, I always want to give a shout out to the significant others and that do all the dirty work in the background so we can have fun. Obviously, they deserve it just as much as we do, and I'm sure you give it back just as much as she gives it to you to allow you to sit here and enjoy the time. So, but again, congratulations on the great finish, and we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate.
I do want to give one other shout out real quick. Alan, he did a fantastic job on my paint scheme for this season. I could not be happier. If anybody needs their paint schemes done, get up with Alan and he'll do you right.
Yeah, I mean that's at least half as 0.2 faster a lap, right?
Look fast, go fast.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully we can talk again soon.
That is your top finishing Silver Division driver, finished 9th place here tonight, the 121 of Josh Van Westenen. Before we get to our last interview, it kind of just is a good into our sponsor here tonight. And again, sponsor for the season, Elwood Designs. Elwood Designs has been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012, specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles. We can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base design, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simracmarket.com, in case I didn't pronounce that right. But you can find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or X, and certainly you want to send a big thanks to Alan and bringing them on board here for the season. But let's get to our last and final interview, and that is going to be the one and only Kevin Foster, finishing in 16th place tonight. I mean, it feels right that we're getting to interview you here at Kansas. I know it's not the finishing position maybe that you wanted here tonight, but you gave us a heck of a thrill once again with some fuel strategy and try to do everything you can. I know you did, but unfortunately, you at least come home as the top finishing Gold Division driver here tonight.
Well, the Gold Division just we kind of stunk it up this evening.
A little bit.
Kevin's like, I finished 16th and I'm top.
All right, well, some there's got to be a polished third in there somewhere. So you're in the third division. You're the polished third, though. So you come home with the 16th here tonight.
We're going to change the name to Polished Third Division.
Yeah. I can find a brown color. I could change your numbers to brown. That's fine. But I mean, tell us about the series out there. I mean, it's obviously it's been a great series since it's come in here with these Xfinity cars, and seeing the biggest numbers now this season. This ties the record for the amount of cars on a track for an oval here in the Core Racing League with 36 here tonight. But it's always scary, at least from my perspective. You have that many cars on track, first race of the season, a lot of new faces, a lot of guys running around each other for the first time. But I mean, from our perspective, it went pretty damn well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, first race of the season, 36 drivers showed up. We got 40. We had 40 on the schedule and a couple alternates. I mean, 36 for the first race. I mean, that just shows what we're doing here in the Core Racing League, and it's just amazing. And I'm glad to be a part of the 5th season here. I missed most of the first season, but I've been at it ever since. And two-time silver champion, so now I'm in the third championship. So we gotta add the gold to the mantle here. But I mean, one caution really, and just not what I want. I was one lap short. Had I done a little bit more early in the run, I probably would have saved the one lap. Probably finished top, 7, 8. But I do not like the new update with this car.
Interesting. And if you're going to get a feel for how the car is going to be, you have probably the most track time right here at Kansas and starting off the season. So if you're going to get a feel for how the car is, if it's from the sounds of it, at least talking to our winner here tonight, Scioli, saying that it was a bit loose out here tonight, and it sounded like it was maybe a bit of a handful. But I mean, if it was, we didn't really see it up here in the booth at all. I mean, you guys had a great job out there. I mean, just maybe 3-4 cautions, but really none of them were anything too crazy out there. So you guys did a heck of a job handling it.
Yeah, I mean, we're Core. It's a collection of racing enthusiasts. And so, it's the best of the best here in this series. And yeah, we put on a great show. Just a couple little cautions, but yeah, the car, it digs, the front end works so well in this car, which is amazing, but it just unhooked the rear of the car. And then, coming off the corner, you got to be very ginger with the throttle. And it's just not the way I like to drive this track or this car, because it is my favorite track, but it's just, I do not like it. I just need to figure out, maybe Alan can, pull me in and give me some lessons on how to drive this car again. But, respect, thank you for all you fans out there watching and listening every Tuesday night. We're the number 1 series on iRacing, I believe. And, right there tonight proves it. And thank you guys.
Well, I think maybe you need to get in touch with Alan just to at least get you a paint scheme, because it seems like those guys over at Elwood Designs and Simrad Markets, they're taking over these top spots for a reason. So look fast, go fast is what I always say, and maybe that's what it is.
Go fast. I got some extra fuel in the fuel line. So.
I mean, that 8 does look good, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just got to get that at least put the Elwood Designs logo on the car, and it'll give you an extra 5 miles per hour of speed, or maybe just an extra lap of fuel. I think is all you're looking for.
Yeah. Maybe he uses some special slick paint or something that makes the car slip through the air faster. I don't know. Maybe he can wrap it in the Elwood's design or something. I don't care. But the ultimate towing Ford Mustang, big red propane Ford Mustang, it wasn't there tonight. And I'm thankful to be up here in the booth. Don't get me wrong, but the third division, as we're gonna rename it here, is off to a great start. I'm leading the points in the series, so I'm thankful for that. Yeah. But hey, we're going home next week though.
Well, either way, top of the turd pile. It's where you want to be right now. So you go from the core home to your home next week at Texas. So I know you're loving the first couple races this season. It certainly gets a little tougher from then on. But congrats on the finish here tonight. I know it's not maybe exactly what you wanted, but like we said, you're top of your division right now. So it's a good point stay in that regard. So congrats on that. Who do you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Shout out to all the fans out there. Yes, guys, we do go back and read the comments and everything, and thank you for cheering on your favorite driver. Thank you to my mom, my wife, friends, family, just everyone tuning in. We get to showcase our love for this sport and love for the Core Racing League on Tuesday nights, and thank you for everyone coming out, and thank you for Elwood Designs for stepping up and sponsoring the league this year. It's really awesome. It's great, and look forward to next week. We're coming home to Texas, and hopefully the number 8's about 15 spots ahead of where it finished tonight.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the finish here and a good run out here. You led some laps. We will let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Texas.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Later.
That is your top turd, I guess, as we want to call it, at the top of the crap pile. But either way, he's top of the gold division here tonight. 16th place for Kevin Foster. That is going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. It was a heck of a good run out here for the first one. And again, there's so many things that can go wrong with the first race of the season with this many drivers out there. But, man, I would almost say the exact opposite here tonight. It was a heck of a good showing out there. Hopefully everyone out there enjoyed it. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But for myself and Jimmy from the Kansas Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.